Welcome to How to Price. Today we're going to talk about transaction information and price segmentation. I'm Mark Stiving, Chief Pricing Educator at Impact Pricing. Let's jump into this. When it comes to transaction information, what we're talking about is what can you learn at the time of the transaction that's going to help us understand each buyer's willingness to pay. Let's take a look at a bunch of examples of these. So some types of transaction information that's really informative to us. Volume. That's a no-brainer. Somebody who buys 1 unit is probably much less price sensitive than somebody who's going to buy 1,000 units. And one way to think about that is how much effort would they put into finding a better price or to negotiating or to shopping your competition. If it's a very inexpensive or a one-off item, maybe they're not going to spend as much or spend as much time or energy as they would if it was a really big deal or really big expenditure because there were so many of them that they're going to buy. Weather is a great one. The San Francisco Giants baseball team was the first team that did what was called dynamic pricing. They would change the price of a baseball ticket based on lots of different things, the day of the week, the time of the day, blah, blah, blah. But the most fascinating one was weather. They would charge lower prices on rainy days than they would on sunny days. But doesn't that just make sense? Because that's telling us something about our buyer's willingness to pay. What about the time of the day? Think about a movie for a second. If you want to go at night, people are going to pay full price. But people who would go at a matinee or maybe even a morning, they might get a much better price just because of the time of day. How about urgency? Do you ever have those buyers that say, I need it now? In fact, you could almost argue that as you look at the shipping options on some e-commerce sites, the shipping prices go up dramatically as you go from 3-day to 2-day to 1-day. Now, maybe their costs go up, but that's a great way to do price segmentation because if I need it today, it's urgent and I'm probably going to pay you a whole lot more for it. So the whole point here is information that we learn at the time of the transaction is providing us hints on each buyer's willingness to pay. We should be thinking about what we can learn and how we could use that as we're adjusting our prices. See you in the next lesson.